Today I'm going to teach you a great skill called double bind, and you can use this in your therapy sessions, whether you're a counsellor, a life coach, a hypnotherapist, or something else. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Therapy Business School. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. My name is James Taylor. I'm an online counsellor, hypnotherapist, life coach, hypnotherapy supervisor. I'm also a podcaster, a YouTuber, and an author. Now, this technique that I'm going to talk about today is called a double bind, and it's a fantastic approach, but it needs to be used appropriately because it can be used positively and negatively. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it just from a positive perspective, and let me explain what a double bind is all about. The double bind gives the illusion of choice, but it actually restricts it. Okay, so an example of this could be for the parents amongst us. Let's say you say to your child, are you going to brush your teeth first, or are you going to tidy your bedroom first? Note how not brushing the teeth is not an option, and not tidying the bedroom is not an option. So when you present something like this, so you're going to brush your teeth first or tidy your bedroom, what it does for the child, it makes the child weigh up those two options, and then they decide which one they're going to do first. Okay, and the child might say, I'm going to brush my teeth and then I'll tidy my bedroom, or vice versa. So it presents the option or the illusion of choice, but actually restricts it. So how can this be used in therapy? Well, let's say you've got a hypnotherapy client and you're talking to the client, and at the beginning of the session you might say to the client, which would you prefer today? Would you like a deep trance or a light trance? Notice how the no trance is not an option. Okay, that's how it could be used in hypnotherapy. Let's say it's life coaching, and a made up example could be the client wants to make an improvement in their life. Well, you could say, do you want to really go for it or only half go for it? The choice of not going for it is not presented, is not an option. And let's say it's a counselling dynamic, and again a made up scenario. Let's say a client wants to end a relationship. Now, you've explored all the feelings and the thoughts behind this, but a double bind approach could be saying to a counselling client, do you want to leave the relationship in 12 months or in 6 months? And just wait. Now, you can also add a triple bind. Okay, so that's 3 choices. So it could be, do you want to leave the relationship in 12 months, 6 months, or in 1 month? If you could choose one of those, which one would you pick? And you offer that as a question, or you pose that as a question. The question of staying in the relationship is not being presented to the client. Does that make sense? So double binds are really, really powerful to use in your therapeutic practice. Now, be wary of how you use them. You want to craft them carefully, as in verbally, the way you say them. You want to be very clear, very concise. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you've seen like Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, and he goes into a restaurant that's not performing, and on the menu there are 20 starters, 20 mains, 20 desserts, and one of the things that he does, he says to the chef, that's just too many dishes to be trying to make in one night. You can't be making or have 60 variations of dishes. We need to whittle the menu down. So what he'll do, he'll make recommendations to a failing restaurant. We're just going to do 5 starters. We're just going to do 5 mains. We're just going to do 5 desserts. And it takes the 60 choices, which is huge, right down to 15. So it decreases the stress on the chef. It decreases the options for the customers. And I don't know whether you found this yourself. If you ever go to a restaurant and the menu is really extensive, for me anyway, it's almost like there's too much choice, and I'm weighing up too many things all at one go. Where if the menu is more simplified, it makes my life a lot easier because I've got limited choices. So it's easier to pick which one I want out of those choices. Alright, so just a short one this week on a double bind. Practice this yourself, practice it with your children, practice it with your friends. So an example of practicing it with your friends or your partner could be, let's say you said to your partner, Tonight, let's get a takeaway. Should we get a Chinese or a Thai? Should we get an Indian or should we get a Chinese? Now, of course, the double bind can be rejected. You might say to a partner, for instance, do you fancy Italian tonight or do you fancy a Chinese? And they might say, well, actually, I feel like an Indian. Okay, so the double bind is not guaranteed. The person's got to accept the double bind, so it can be rejected. So watch out for that. On another thought entirely, I've been looking at the analytics of this channel, and I love the fact that you're tuning in, and hopefully you're finding the content enjoyable. But 81% have not subscribed. So here's a double bind. You're going to subscribe now, or you're going to subscribe later. Notice what I did there. The choice of not subscribing is not being offered. So please, if you'd like to, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the content that's coming up. If you'd like some things covered in particular, mention that in the comments. I've also got a Facebook group just for therapists, also called Therapy Business School. So the link for that will be in the description. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. This is James from Therapy Business School, and I'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget, press that subscribe button. Bye bye.